It's a butterfly. It's a butterfly or an angel. You see it?
Yeah, it's not a moth, is it?
No, come on. You see it though. It's
Yeah.
so clear.
Well, I also see a mask that looks like Batman. Do you see that?
No, I don't see that.
Welcome to Splintered Spirits, the podcast where we try to answer the question, what are spirits? Today's episode is a special one. We're back with a friend of the pod, Cathy Nadal, author of Seeing More Than Clouds in Your Coffee and one of the most trusted psychic mediums in the world. Cathy is certified with the Forever Family Foundation, one of the most rigorous medium testing organizations on the planet. She's also a registered nurse and a retired U.S. Army colonel, which means she brings both intuition and discipline to everything she does. You can find Cathy at CatWitchNYC on social media, and you can book a reading for yourself at DreamCentralStation.com. Links for Cathy can be found in the link tree in our bio. We recorded this episode just before the holidays. Instead of sitting in a studio, we took Splintered Spirits on the road to Coffee Unique in Bronxville, New York, where Cathy gave me a live reading using espresso first and then Turkish coffee. And something strange happened. There were similarities in both cups. Clear symbolism that even an untrained eye like mine can see. Is that coincidence? Is it a sign? And I'll be honest, it doesn't matter what I think I see in the cup. What matters is what Cathy sees. Because once she starts reading, the coffee stops being coffee and starts becoming a map to the past, present, and future. So grab your coffee, settle in, and get ready for one of the most personal and surprising readings yet. Let's dive into the conversation. Cathy, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you. It's so exciting to see you.
I know, it's crazy. It's cold. It's freezing.
Yeah, and it's
I have like 6 layers on. My car is freezing. And it was like, it took me forever, by the way. You know, I got here early, and it took me forever, and I'm glad I did, because it took me 25 minutes to download an app to figure out how to park.
Oh, parking, yeah.
I didn't have, do people carry change?
I have $28 of change in my car right now. Yeah, I do.
I mean, that's
literally,
nuts.
I have the little gauge that shows every time you put a quarter in, it adds
No
to
way.
that. Yeah, total.
Oh my God. So it's like I had to download the app, I had to do the whole thing, and that took like just trying to figure that out to make sure that, that
so
we did
just
that
so
right.
the audience knows, I live in Bronxville, New York, which is a really cute little town right next to Yonkers.
Yeah, it's cool. And we're sitting here in Coffee Unique.
Yes.
This is one of your local haunts.
Yes, it is. Yeah, they know me well here.
Right. And it's great. So, Cathy, I want to remind you, our audience knows you because you've done, and you're the only psychic I'll ever go to because I don't trust anybody else. Now that I've put that on the air, I can't go to somebody and believe that they'll give me a reading like, oh, you just heard Cathy do it. You know what I mean? I don't buy it.
Yeah.
That's just me. So like, that's it.
Yeah,
You've
but
done
even
it.
when I first read you didn't want the reading. You were like, I don't believe in this and all this. I said,
No.
I won't do any projects with you unless I do read you.
No, I know.
Me saying that.
Yeah. So it was good, but now it's like you spoiled me forever. So now I can't do it. So which is fine. So I just want to, but I do want to remind the audience a little bit about your background.
Yes.
For those who haven't seen you before. So you're a psychic medium, accredited with the Forever Family Foundation. But before that, before you were doing it like professionally, or was it all intertwined? But you were you're now a retired colonel.
Yes, that's correct.
You're a registered nurse.
Yes.
These are two very different worlds.
Yes.
Being that one is intuitive and one is very rigid and almost scientific. Mm-hmm. How do you separate those two worlds?
Yeah, so I have to say that I started out my career, being a nurse. And I was drawn to that when I was 7 years old. I remember walking up the stairs in my house, and we were taking care of my grandmother. And I gave her a glass of water, and she said, "You're going to be a nurse one day." And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to be a nurse one day." And I think she planted the seed in my mind because I actually felt like I did something good, that I wanted to follow that. And then I had a cousin who became a nurse, and we ended up going to the same nursing school at the end of it. But taking care of people and wanting to look after people really came natural to me. The reason why I joined the military is because I needed education. I was an associate degree nurse, and the hospital I worked for didn't have enough money to pay, as much as I needed for a bachelor's. So I joined the Army Reserve, and they actually paid for my bachelor's, and then I went on for a master's, and I paid out of pocket for that.
And how long did you serve?
30 years total.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't stop. I became addicted. I was like, oh, and it was very challenging to me because I'm a good student. So you have to like take military classes and, so every time someone presented me with a new job or I ate it up. I thought it was great. Yeah, I'm very ambitious.
I'll say. And then you did, and you did tours. You were in Iraq.
I was in Iraq for a year, and then they had sent us over to work with the Jordanian army for almost 4 weeks. Yeah.
What's it like being on, a tour with your abilities?
Well, I have to say it's no different than being out in everyday life.
But there's no how can you say it's no different? Look around you. Look where we are. It's like the Christmas lights and Christmas trees.
Yeah.
You're talking about Iraq. How is it no different?
Well, however, the only thing about it that is really different is that, things are happening. Particularly the year that I was there. It was 2004 to 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Just to bring things through history. We invaded in 2003, and Saddam was in prison when I was there. I mean, there's a lot of things during that time historically, but a lot of the work that we did over there, a lot of us won't talk about. But it's difficult. You're placed in an away situation.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, I'm not an intrusive person. I won't run up to somebody. But there were certain times, which I talk about in my book, that I, kind of felt very strongly about certain things. And things did happen, So, the second book really addresses that.
Right.
But my battle buddy, Colonel Khaleesi, Denise Khaleesi, she's retired also. She was my battle buddy, and she said, if we get out of here alive, because some people didn't, you really need to do this work publicly and share this with the public. And I promised her, because I had said things to her that came true, and she was like, "Oh, you're really gifted." Like, there was no convincing her that I wasn't, And then when I came home, things started to unfold because I already knew I had this gift. Like reading coffee was something I did in my teens. I did while I was in college, so that's why we're here.
There's a word for this. I looked it up. It's a tasseography.
Tasseology, I think.
Tasseography.
Yeah.
How did you find this? How did this become?
Yeah.
Why coffee? What was it?
Well,
how did coffee become the canvas for spiritual?
Well, it's one of the many things that I'm kind of known for. But in my father's family, his father came from Spain, and his mother was Italian. So we always had coffee on that side of the family. My mother's family was Irish, and they would drink instant coffee, like, no.
Right.
So a lot of my cousins, we always had Italian coffee around, So a lot of times I would lean over and look in their cup, and I'm like, wow, that looks like this to me, and that looks like that to me, and I'd start telling them stuff. And they're like, you didn't know that about my life. Even though you're cousins with someone, you don't know everything that's going on in their life,
Right.
And then when I was at Mercy College, when the Army was paying for my bachelor's, I had a really good friend, Tommy, and he was an Italian guy that used to take me down to the Bronx, and we'd go to different cafes and pizzerias and stuff, and he would say, I want you to read my cup and tell me about my girlfriend and tell me about this and that, and everything that I would sing, it was coming true, and he got addicted to taking me around, and I talk about it in my first book.
Yes.
Where
the book we're talking about too that you wrote about this big is obviously seeing more than clouds in your coffee, which is great. I mean, the whole thing about it is wild.
Yeah, and one of the places I think I talked about is someone from the back, from the cook in the kitchen, or somebody comes out, and I end up reading for them, So a lot of these places, people kind of like look over or see. A place like Coffee Unique, not so startling because they may do this in their culture. Yeah.
So what do we start with? What's the process here before we start ordering?
So the process is, I always say to someone, do you drink coffee? That's
Yes.
the main question. Because if you don't drink coffee, you can't have the reading.
Okay.
You know, you can't pretend to drink it. You actually have to drink it.
Okay.
Some people
No, I
want
like coffee.
caffeine. Some people want decaf. It doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
And some people want sugar. Some people don't want sugar. That doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because even the sugar, like someone said to me, I use 3 packets. I said, I don't care. I'll actually be able to read the sugar as it blends with the coffee.
Well, then don't you say that matters then? It's sort of an added...
Having sugar or not sugar doesn't matter.
Change, right.
Because it's really the coffee that is really the background to this whole thing. Yeah,
Okay.
it's very interesting.
Okay.
And there was only one time that I read for someone where the cup was as completely clean after they drank it. It was before the coffee went in it, and they were really upset. They said, what does that mean? I said, it just means you don't get a reading. But out of thousands of cups that I have done, that is the only time that has happened. And I doubt that will happen to you. I doubt.
I don't know if I like that.
But I've done a psychic fairs where literally people have lined up, and I had my own espresso maker, and one of the fairs I did, oh my God, one of the fairs I did, the lady saw that I was running behind and there was only one little sink. The ladies left the line and they were cleaning the cups so that I could get everyone through in time.
Oh, that's sweet of them.
Yeah.
All right, so, okay.
So the biggest,
so
the biggest thing is we're going to order the coffee. The first coffee we're going to order is Italian coffee.
Okay.
It's called espresso coffee.
Okay.
It's a thin coffee. It's also considered to be a little bitter for some people. So that's why people tend to want to put anisette in it or sugar in it or whatever.
Sure.
There's a process. Once we get it, I'll tell you exactly how to put your napkin, how it's going to be displayed.
All right.
And then we're going to drink it. It takes a couple of minutes to drink it.
Okay.
And then we're going to churn the cup in a particular fashion.
Okay.
We're going to turn the cup over. We're going to let it dry, which goes fairly quickly. And then I'll read your coffee first if you want, or I could show you my cup. Some people, when they're new to this, they say, show me your cup, because they want to actually get their eye programmed to see what they're actually looking for before they see their cup.
Well, we'll figure that out.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we have to start with espresso.
Espresso.
All right. I'll go order it. So she's going to bring out these espressos. What kind of is it a prediction we're going to see, or things that are happening now, or is it all the thing?
You have to see, because there's a way I read where I can tell you if something's in the past.
Okay.
And there's a way I read I could say if something's happening right now, and then there's things that are happening in the future. So that's why a lot of times when someone goes through this, we have to wait like 6 months to see if those things happen.
Oh my gosh.
And I've even tested it on myself. So when I moved in with my dad when my dad was dying, and for a year I took care of him. He slept in the living room on hospital bed, and I slept on the couch. And when I had free time, I would go up to Dobbs Ferry because I had a friend that had a cafe similar to this, and I would order a coffee. And I was looking in the cup, and the same image was in every cup, month after month after month, and it was my dad. And I started to watch it move because the months move in the cup.
When you say you saw your dad, what did you see? Was it a representation of your dad?
It was a representation of my dad, the way the body was. So you can see him like standing. So when I first moved in, he was still fairly healthy, and he was standing up, and he was able to walk up and down the stairs. And then as time elapsed, we had to move him downstairs, and then he was in a hospital bed. So that same body started to slant, started to move. So literally from 1 month to the next, I could see him moving. And I watched that with my own cup. And I knew it was him because it wasn't me. It was
That's amazing.
And that's the only way I could say that I could validate it, because it was my life.
Right.
And I literally watched it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the coffee also started getting lighter. And that's really important, because the color of the coffee sometimes indicates stress or very important or a difficult time. When the coffee becomes lighter in color, it means the stress is being released, or that it's not as upsetting sometimes in a cup. So that's why when I saw my dad's image, he was standing up, but the coffee was so dark. And I was like, oh, because I knew he was still feeling healthy, but they had told him, like, if you don't take dialysis, you have a time frame. And he didn't want to do that. So I knew he had all that stress on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he still looked good. Like, people would go over and sit with him and he looked great. But he had all that stress on him. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And then when I talk and I say, this is what I'm saying, it's not just the coffee, it's my ability. Because I'm clairvoyant. I can see things past the cup. So it's a combination of what I can see outside the cup and a combination what I see inside the cup that brings all of that together.
Cathy, do the symbols that you see mean the same thing for each person?
No.
Okay, so
No.
if you saw a bird in my cup, that might not be the same if you saw a bird in somebody else's cup.
It depends. Bird in particular is very specific. So Colonel Denise Khaleesi, my battle buddy that I mentioned earlier, we had been in a mess hall in Fort Dix, New Jersey, and they had this new coffee machine, and she said, I'm gonna get a cappuccino, and she ran up and got it, and she was drinking it, and she was up for a promotion to full bird colonel. And I said, when you're done with that coffee, let me look at it. And she said, oh, this is not the way you do it. It's a styrofoam cup. We're in the mess hall. I said, let me see that cup. And I swear, she still has the picture to this day. You could see the bird at the top of her cup. And I said, you are going to get that promotion. And till this day, she still has a picture. She got that promotion.
Oh, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, and she was at a point in her career that if she didn't get that, she was like, all right, I'm going to drop my papers. It's time for me to go. You get certain feelings like,
Sure. Sure.
But she really was like, oh my God. But a bird for someone else could be something totally different.
Okay.
Birds sometimes come through in readings, Sometimes it has something to do with the person's personal life.
Okay, but that's specifically for birds. But symbols just in general, you get a different vibe off of them.
Well, let me tell you, I'll sit there and I'll hold the cup and I'll say, I see this. And the other person leans over my shoulder and says, I don't see that. I see a bear. And I'm like, do you want to do the reading?
Okay. All right. It doesn't matter. So the pareidolia doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's
so
only
it's
to
like
you. It's what you see.
They see the bear, and it's like, okay, so you see the bear. And then take me from there.
Okay.
That's why a lot of times people say, well, I want to learn how to do this. I'm like, I really can't train you because it's not just the cup. You have to have the ability to go past the cup in order for this to really make sense to someone to say, I really feel like I had a reading.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the person's like, but I'm adamant. I see that bear. And I'm like, okay, so then expand on the bear. They can't. It's like they hit a wall and they're like, I just got bear.
And
it's just like, okay, well,
sure.
Good with your bear.
Good with your bear. This is what I charge. Here's my bill.
That's the same with readings.
Sure.
When you give someone a reading, if you say, I'm seeing this, but then you can't pull it together with other things.
Right.
The person has to leave your reading, either psychic or mediumship, with having a message. Like, why did that feel like it validated my life in some way?
Gotcha.
And that's the important part of it.
Yeah.
It's always, and in the Army, we teach this. We go through certain things and you have to be able to say, this is why we're learning this. The who, the what, the when, the where, all of that.
Yeah.
But at the end, we would always say, but what's the so what? Like, why do we need to know this?
Right.
What is so important? Why are these things so important? It's what's the so what? And we would say that over and over again.
Yeah.
And it matches everyone's regular life. When you say, okay, I have to maintain my car, I have to take my car for maintenance, what's the so what? So I don't break down on the side of the road so that I don't cause an accident, right?
Yeah.
The so what means so much in everyone's life.
Got it.
So many people just gloss over it.
But can the so what happen later? Like they might not realize it right now, but it might happen later?
Because I'm validating the past for them.
Okay.
So that they can say, yeah, I remember that time and I remember that happening. So they automatically know that, yes, that's happened. The current, I'm validating for them as well. But in the future, they might have a hint that something's going to happen. But when they leave there, they say, why was that reading so important? It's because I know what I did 6 months ago, or I know what I'm doing right now. matters because it's showing itself to me in the cup.
Now, the atmosphere doesn't affect the reading, does it?
No.
Energy effects? No, none of that.
No.
Like if I'm in a good mood though, with that, like, does it? Okay.
No,
Does drink
absolutely
is the
not.
mood I'm in when drinking it affect the reading?
No, I could tell you a funny story, which is in the book. But I knew a guy, and he said, I don't do coffee. I said, okay, fine. What do you do? He's like, I do hot cocoa, and he was already like negative.
Sure.
So I read his hot cocoa. And I said some things to him, and he was like, oh, wow, okay. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like he was coming in negative, and I thought,
Right.
but when you tell someone, like, I've spoken to you before, and I spoke to John, certain things that I said, you guys stopped and said, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay,
Sure.
it's that kind of a thing. And the thing I said to him about his hot cocoa, he was like, oh, wow, like, okay.
Sure.
But
That's your kids' version in the future. Do cocoa readings.
oh, I don't know. I don't like to do a lot with children.
No, of course
Yeah.
not. They're horrible.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but their life also hasn't developed.
Right.
And some people don't realize, which I always underline, some children's lives are more stressful than adults because some children are living in households they would rather not be living in. And I know that firsthand.
Oh,
I
sure.
live with a very difficult alcoholic mom. And I think that enhanced my psychic ability. I think I paid attention to things more than other people, waiting for things to go clunk in the night. I think I was in tune to that a bit more.
Sure.
But nobody else in my family does this.
Right.
My cousin Jerry,
You don't have anybody in your family that has any abilities whatsoever?
No. And the funny thing is my cousin Jerry, in this town, I don't know, must be 20, I don't know if it's 20 years ago, it's got to be at least 20 years ago. There's a hospital in this town, which is called Lawrence Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And Jerry came in for business in Manhattan. He was working for Cirque du Soleil at the time. And he said, I have a cup in my pocket. I said, what? We're in the lobby of the hospital. He's like, I went to a restaurant last night and they let me take my cup with me because I knew I would see you tomorrow.
He wanted that reading. He wanted that
I
reading.
read for him
Sure.
in the hospital lobby looking at his cup.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so he's a big component. We were in Spain. I opened up my first book talking about being in Spain. And he said, I'm getting my coffee, and he had brought a Cirque du Soleil show over to Spain. And we were there for the opening, and he said, I want my coffee reading.
That's
Even
insane.
2 years ago, I was in Vegas, and he said, we're having a brunch, and we're doing coffee. Certain people really love it. And it's funny because certain people, when I tell them about it, they're like, oh no, I'm afraid of that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Some people need to see it.
Yeah, sure. No, look, I'm excited. This coffee's better be good too. It's taking its time. But it's like, I am so, when I first heard that about you, I was like, this is the coolest thing. And it is so, look, everybody's heard of, I've read the tea leaves, you know what I mean? It's so, the tea leaves, right? That's what they always say. The tea leaves, the tea leaves, the tea
Salem
leaves.
that do the tea leaves.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All
Thanks
right,
so much.
perfect. So I put it on here?
So good. So good.
Okay.
All right, good. So do
So,
you take any sugar?
I don't.
All right, I do. So I'm going to put mine in.
Okay.
I put a little sugar.
Espressos. This is
I
where
only-
we start.
It's a little one, so I only do half a packet.
Okay.
So because they actually have spoons here, so because you could stir it
Am I
if
supposed
you
to?
want.
No,
but
I don't have to.
No, it's
It's
fine.
not going to affect anything that I get.
No. So
All right.
everything you do
Yes.
is your cup, okay?
I hope so.
Whatever hand you write
I'm a lefty.
with, all right, so then you're gonna do left.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Do we cheers or no?
No.
None of that shit. Because that'll be. Because that would be.
This is energy,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So you're gonna drink your coffee.
Okay.
It's good and hot. I love the coffee here. It's good, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to chug it. You can take your time.
All right. I don't know. Like, is it getting better? Do I get better?
No. It's just,
Okay.
it's just drinking it.
Okay. All right. So right now you're saying like so whatever
I'm not saying anything. I
No,
mean,
no.
I drink coffee all the time.
But it's not like nothing's coming,
No.
every sip. It's just whatever happens.
No.
Okay.
No,
No, it
it's
doesn't matter.
really good though, and that's why I like certain coffee shops, because you can tell the difference of the coffee, and their blend here is really good.
But that doesn't affect
It doesn't affect it, but when
But it makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's
right.
got like, when this espresso, I don't know if the camera can show, but it's got a creaminess to it.
Yes.
Not all espresso blends get
Right.
that creamy.
Got it.
One more sip.
Okay.
All right, so I'm done. Are you done?
No, I'm almost
right.
done.
So I'll demonstrate first. So because
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
done and I'm a right-hander,
Yes.
I'm going to turn it 3 times towards me, which is counterclockwise. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then I put it down on the paper.
On the napkin. Not on the
And,
saucer.
no.
I
And
gotta
then
make
I'm going to put it up at 5 o'clock. Okay, and then it just sits there. So 5 o'clock is like you're looking at the clock, and then you don't touch it. So you're going to do 3 times
So
towards
I'm
you.
wait, I'm lefty. I go counterclockwise.
Yeah, still, it's the same clock motion. It doesn't matter left or right.
Wait, am I going clockwise or counterclockwise? I wanna fuck this up.
Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise.
Yeah, so go
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Now put it upside down on the paper. Give it a little, yeah. And then put it up at 5 o'clock. But the handle has to be down.
Handle down.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. It's not really a 5. I would bring it back a little bit. Yeah. A little, yeah.
Well, what the
That's
fuck? All right.
Mine's really at 5 o'clock. Yours isn't.
That's not 5 o'clock. That's 4 o'clock.
Mine's at 5 o'clock. All right, that's fine. Leave it alone.
Am I gonna? I don't want to match
It's fine.
shit.
I'm making fun of you.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right.
It's totally fine.
Okay.
All right, good.
Now
So
we wait.
No, we wait. But isn't it beautiful? That's
Yes.
why so many people actually give me espresso cups as gifts. Like my nephew.
Yeah.
He gave me 2 cups with the names of my cats on them, Nicolette and Juniper. How funny is that? And I even travel with a cat bag. Look.
I know. You cats and you witches and your cats. It's crazy.
So funny. All right, good.
All right, so now we let this sit
So we
for a
let
second.
this sit. I put my cup down first, so I'll be the first to look at it.
Okay. How long does it sit?
Just a few
Just a-
minutes.
okay.
Really, not very long.
Okay.
But for this, I have to wear my magnifying glasses
Sure.
because I'm really.
Wait, I might need. Do I need?
You
mine?
might need glasses
I might
too.
need my readers too when we're ready. Because this is age. I'm 51.
Okay, good.
The eyes are shot.
Oh, sure. Okay, so I'm ready. So,
Yeah.
am I putting my cup under the camera?
Oh, can I hold it or no? Do you want to do it?
No.
No, I'm not gonna touch
Yeah.
it. No. Well, just tell me first, and then we'll show it after. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Good.
Because mine will focus.
Yeah. So this is my cup.
On. Okay.
So when I look at the cup, I'm going to use the spoon as a
glasses.
pointer.
Yep.
So I'm going to use a spoon as a pointer. I just don't want to get dirty here
Okay.
in the process. So see here, this is the handle of the cup.
Yeah, but that's not magic.
Well, I'm just explaining it to you.
Okay.
So the handle of the cup is showing where we are right now, okay? And this image right there, so when I say this is where we are right now, the handle of the cup would be December 1st to December 31st.
Okay.
There's an important thing that I was working on in the last week of November. You see how that looks like a road?
Yes.
And you see on the bottom of it, it's standing up. A person is like standing up.
Looks like a stick figure.
Exactly. But that's me standing up, okay? You see that little
Yeah.
person standing up?
Yeah.
And it's in a road, okay?
Yeah.
And the road is not very clear. It's kind of made of like coffee, but it shows like steam raising from my head. Do you see like the stream
Okay.
of steam?
Okay.
I had a disagreement with someone, and I stood up and I walked out of their house. And that's what that is.
That's what happened.
That's what happened, and that matches the cup.
Okay.
Because it was quite literally at the end of November.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
and I stood up, which normally I wouldn't have done. I would have said, keep my mouth shut. Let me just keep my mouth shut.
Must have been a hell of a disagreement.
Well, but the point about the coffee is it validates that really impacted me, and it validated that it was that important to me.
Okay.
And you see the stream going off the top of my head?
Yeah.
which means that I release those thoughts
Okay.
coming right off the top.
Okay.
Now, before that, which is actually quite interesting, I can go back. So when I go back, right underneath that, the 2 months before that, which would have been October and a little bit of September, do you see all of that in the cup? All of that.
That mess.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see this? This is actually me. You see my long hair, and you see me standing, and you see my arm out.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's so clear. I was involved in a very important project in October, and it involved a lot of people. And you see my arm out, there's a head right there, which means that I'm talking to someone. See my arm out, talking to a very important head. And that had to do with the project that I was working on. And it's all in white. White is very good, okay, which means it's a very positive project. But you see how clear my long hair is?
Okay.
You see
Yeah.
it, right?
Well, yes, I see.
It's
I see
so
what you're saying.
clear. And the important part of it is that I'm talking to the head. You see my head there, and you see the line there, and the other person's head. Their body is not important. You see that?
Yeah.
It's their head that's more important, which means they have a recognizable face.
Okay.
That's why the body is not important.
Can I show? Can I show it?
Yeah, sure.
Can I hold it now?
Yeah.
Because so I want just to give everybody
You
the
want to
sense
use
of
the
what we're talking-
pointer?
Yeah, sure. So this is weird. to
Can
do.
you see that?
Yeah. So this is that road she was talking about, or it's the standing up, the steam coming off her head.
Can you show the little body in
Yeah,
there?
you can see the body right there, right? And then if you look there,
You have to point with the pointer.
right there is the other leg. It looks like that the Screaming Man. And it's but the white is the hair, and then it aligned to another head. That's what she's talking about. Okay, cool.
All right, good.
All right, we're ready to do this?
That's really good. Okay, good. All right, so that's just a sample of what my cup looks like so that the audience understands.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right, so now I'm going to go to your cup.
Wait, do I touch? You're touching
I touch it, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Oh, wow, this is very good.
Is it? I like what we see.
This
All
is
right.
very good. 'Cause
All right.
the important
Do you want to lean
part-
over so we can get
Sure.
so we can show it to you at the same time?
All right, good.
All right.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I'm gonna
All
look.
right, good. So this is very important. Is
Which
your-
one? Where the handle is.
Yeah, so you didn't use your spoon.
I didn't.
So I'm going to use your spoon. So this is the handle.
Yeah.
This is the month we're in right now.
Sure.
You have a similar line that I do,
Okay.
but you see you have nothing on that line.
No, it's
okay?
a big black or a
Yeah,
big
well, no.
coffee.
Yeah,
Turn
so-
it like this way so
No,
people
no,
can
no.
see it. Oh,
So this is December 1st,
okay.
and this is December 31st, right here.
Okay.
This actually starts, if you're looking at it, in the last week of November.
Okay.
This is something that you're working on from the end of November, quite literally to right now,
Okay.
December 15th, like
Okay.
literally right now. This is a work project that actually has two parts to it. Okay, because you see the one line there
Yeah.
is a little dark, and then the back line is a little dark. Okay.
Yes.
That is very good because it actually goes to the top of the cup, so it's time sensitive. Okay.
Do things not always go to the top for some people?
You'll see. You'll see.
Okay.
I'll show you things.
Okay.
So this to me is very good,
Okay.
but it's a work project. And look, you see how this line, two lines come down? It actually is showing me something connected to things you did in the past. Okay?
Word?
Yeah, so you see this here.
Back your hand up just a little. Yeah, yeah.
See this here?
Yes.
This is the work project. When you come down, you see how that has a tail to it? The light
Which
color
one am I
light
talking
color
about?
coffee.
The light color part. Okay.
Light color coffee. You see right there?
Yes.
It's a tail.
Yes.
And it goes into that.
Okay.
Just look at the light coloring, okay?
Yeah.
Because the dark coloring is different. That's a different image.
Is that something bad?
No. We're not on to that. We're
Okay.
staying one thing at a time.
All right.
You come down here and you go all the way up to that.
Okay.
That actually is part of all of this.
Well, what the hell's all that?
All right. Well, I'm going to talk about it.
Those look like literal grains and stuff.
No. All right. So it is coffee. Okay. So.
I get it. I mean, what's the symbolism of it?
So this is December. This would be November, October. This would be September, August. This would be July, June. Okay? So I have to go back and talk about this period of time being June, July, August into September.
Okay.
All of that.
Okay.
This is work related, but you see how this starts from the bottom? There's two major groups of people that you're working with. Because this line sometimes you see when you're working with a lot of people. You have two different groups of people that you're working with.
That's
you
true.
see how they're lined up, all those people?
Yeah.
The coffee grinds become people. Sometimes when I read for people in the music business and I see a line like that, I'm like, oh, you're going on tour. You're touring the world. When somebody's in the military and they're going on a tour, that those symbols would be there as well. Okay. So it talks about a lot of people all going in the same direction or a lot of people on a project. Okay. You're managing two groups of those people.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true. I have two things going.
Frame. June, July, August, September. So when we go back to those months, you would have been involved with those people during that period of time. And they're separate groups of people. You see how that line is there and that line is there, okay? At the bottom of it, even though there's a little bit of coffee there.
Turn it like that so they can see. Yeah, right. Perfect. So now everyone can
I
see.
can't see,
Just to show them. So you can see these two lines.
One
These are two
line
lines,
here,
and then
one line here.
leads
And
to a
it's
drip at the bottom.
The coffee lines.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yep.
The little stress thing here.
Yeah.
The little dark coloring thing here is more towards the first group of people. They're not equal stresses.
No.
So one group of people causes you more stress than the other group.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
And does the line mean less people?
Well, it could, or it could be kind of the one that you dealt with first in that month.
I don't know if it matters about the month yet, but it certainly
Okay.
is. I do have two very different things going
Okay,
on.
one of it is
one
more
is more
stressful
stressful.
than the other.
Sure.
Okay? And almost, you see the coloring there, it calls like a little ball
Yeah.
of stress. Okay?
So dark is bad.
Well, it's not bad, but sometimes reflects importance, difference, stress, a little bit of a ball of stress with one of those groups. So it's not easy to figure out all the time. Like I feel like I'm in a ball, like I'm all like in a ball. Ball is like a circle where it goes around and around and around and around, okay? There may be more stress that goes around and around and around with one group more than the other, okay? But it's interesting because this all came together. You see how you have borders here? And borders here? It's isolated to those months as being, it's isolated, see? These are like your bookmarkers.
These lines, the thick
You
lines.
see?
Yeah.
It's almost like a volcano. You see how it like
A
goes
volcano
up?
of stress?
No.
That could be
but
me. It's not out of the realm of possibility that I'm
You see the volcano almost image or a mountain image
Yeah.
where this line goes up and this line goes up, but you see it has a roof on it, okay? Which means that these are projects that are closed. These are projects that need to be completed, okay?
Okay.
These are projects that will have a deadline or an end to them, okay? Because
Interesting. Okay.
it's got a roof on it. You see the roof? And the roof almost looks a little scalloped. You see the scalloping? You know when you go to like Japan and you see a building like that has that really intricate kind of, you see that little like almost like fluffy line around the roof? So this means this is a very, very creative project you're working on. When you see that building in Japan, you say, oh, someone made that with a lot of creativity, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. You see those little scallop lines there?
That's what that means.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, both things. Okay.
Very creative. Okay. But that's the
I'm extremely
roof.
creative.
That's the roof there. Okay. But it's interesting because it starts out with a darker coloring. You see how that one
Sure.
side of it is dark?
Surrounded by darkness.
But it ends lighter. Because that dark thing there is part of something else.
Is it medical?
No, I didn't get there yet.
Right.
Okay. Are you giving the reading?
I know.
You see this piece of it, right?
It's so dark though, Kathy. Let me show you. It's like that's like a big dark wave.
No, we didn't get there though. You see?
Yes.
That's interesting. So all that makes sense to you, right?
So far.
Okay, good. Now let's go back to where we are here. Okay. This is the line that I talked about, the project that you're on right now.
Yeah.
With the two sides of it. Underneath that, you see that thickness there? Come down. It trickles into, it's like a funnel effect. You see that? And you see the funnel effect?
So everybody can see. Yeah.
I can't point because I can't see where I'm.
Move it closer to you a little bit. There you go.
I still can't see.
All right.
See the funnel effect?
Yeah.
If you look at the funnel effect right there,
Okay.
you see you have angel wings.
Okay. Does that mean I'm dead?
No, it's good. But this project that you're working on right now, that end of November to now, funnels down through what you say is a darkness. It's really thick. Okay, that right there is, you're kind of sorting through a lot. Okay, this is not a simple thing. This requires a lot of, all that is just thick.
Yeah.
Okay, but it means that shows like effort. Okay. When it comes down, the coffee gets lighter, and there's like an angel with the wings, okay? Which means this project is gonna fly, take off. Can you see that?
That'd be fucking nice.
You see this? Because this is almost looking like a butterfly. You see your wings there?
You're looking at, okay. Can I touch it or no? So like, just so you can see it, I want everyone to see what this
I can't see.
I can see it. They can see it. Down at the bottom.
You have to use.
And I'll use a graphic later.
Okay.
But it's like down there is like wings. I see it. So it's like
it. So
just
it's
I know.
It's a body.
This right, the white in the white.
No. So go to the line right here. See the thickness here?
Yes.
Let's see the little body with the wing there and the wing there. It's a butterfly. It's a butterfly or an angel. You see it?
Yeah, it's not a moth, is it?
No, come on. You see it though. It's so clear.
Well, I also see a mask that looks like Batman. Do you see that?
No, I don't see that. No, I don't see that. But that to me is the most important thing right there because of the wings.
Because it matters, and I want to remind people, it matters what Kathy sees, not what I see. Because just so you see this, guys, if you look right here, you can see Batman's eyes in the white.
I do.
Right here.
No, I'm sorry.
And then I want to show the people how I got Batman because just in case Kathy's wrong. And then there's like a nose. You can see the nose. Let's look. I will highlight this for you, but that looks like Batman's white eyes and then his dark nose in the mask of the cowl. And then the white face. Maybe I'm just in case, but go ahead, continue, Ken.
Okay.
All right, so we see. All right, the butterfly you see, but I see them. I see what you're seeing as that is possibly a
that
butterfly.
to me is the most important thing. That it's either an angel or a butterfly. Because
I might have fucked it up and hit that thing with the spoon.
You did, yeah. Look.
I know, but it's but that's the thick
right.
part. But we know that was thick because we have video footage
good.
of it.
All right. You may want to take stills of this too.
Good.
So the important part is this project that you're working on that has two parts to it is under the butterfly or the angel.
It's above it.
Yeah, but you see that when you go underneath it?
It's underneath the thick.
Yeah.
So that's better.
Yeah.
It's a struggle, and then it's just saying it's
it takes off.
Okay, great.
Because it's the stuff that's underneath it. Now, the reason why I say that, and it's so important for the audience to know, is at the bottom of your cup, the actual bottom of the cup is called your heart of the cup. Okay, it's the heart of the cup. So things that are closer to your heart, to me, have a higher importance. Okay, that's why the butterfly or the angel being close to the bottom edge of your cup, meeting the heart of your cup, gets more important. Okay, that's why I get excited, like, oh, I see that, okay? Now,
this looks cool. I don't know what's going on over
here. This dark thing, you're gonna just eliminate that because it just continues to show that you have to sort out. All of your projects are not easy. You must do a lot of research, or there's a lot of things to sort through. That big swipe of that darkness is just hard work that you have to do.
Okay.
Your stuff is not easy, whatever you're involved in. Now, when you go to counting again, January, February, March, into April, there you got another project. So there's something big coming for your work.
Now we're getting
in
somewhere.
April.
And look, what does it mean where it's like this open
Well,
funnel?
look,
That looks like a funnel, right?
All
to
right,
me.
so
what does it mean to you?
that, what it is all of this research, all this hard work slopes off. You see how that
Yeah,
slopes off? And now this project is
Smooth
standing on
sailing?
its own. It's
Smooth
standing
sailing.
on its own.
Right.
Look, it's floating.
Yes.
It's not attached to anything anymore.
Does that mean it's easy for me?
It's better.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, it's floating. You see, it's
Yes,
floating.
I love it.
And it's also interesting because it's not typical or what people would call normal, whatever that project is, because it's got a little bit of a twist to it. You see the twist?
Yeah.
So that's important because sometimes people would say, why does it look a little crooked? Or it may start out a little crooked and straighten itself out. Does that make sense?
Sure.
That's what that is. But it's also very good and very clear. And again, still has those two aspects to it. So you see that?
Yeah.
So those two aspects to that project that we saw over here are still going on with this. Does that make sense to you?
Well, not yet, because that's in the
Okay.
future. But I mean, I'm hoping
but
that
you're
if
working
something.
on something. Yeah. Okay. All right. And that's kind of interesting because you see how this one had the angel under
Yeah.
it? This one is like, there's almost like the angel has risen up in there. You see how that's white,
Yes.
but
I
there's
did.
a little image in there?
Yes.
See the little image?
Can I hold it?
Yeah.
That's why I get closer.
You see the little image?
Yeah.
It doesn't have the wings anymore. It's standing by itself. So it's a little person under that project. Can you see it?
Yeah. Look at that, guys. I lost my wings. What does it mean when an angel loses its wings?
Listen, this
She
is
looks at it as a
comedy
positive,
show.
but it's like I feel
Comedy
like
show. But you can see the head. You see how clear that is? The little head right there on the body, standing so freely. And the project is almost like a little cover. It's like it's creating a little roof to the person standing there. It's really amazing, isn't that? Can you see that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we're using words like amazing and not oh no. I mean, when you hear it, but yeah, I mean, okay. Listen, I have to take your word for some of this because it's the future.
But can you see it though?
I can see, yes,
Yeah,
I can
you
see
can
a
see the
form
little person
underneath.
there.
It looks to
Yes.
me, it looks like a person underneath a bubble holding up, like blocking a waterfall coming over them, and he's like,
Yeah.
that's what it looks like. to
Yeah,
me.
but that little turn here in the project is providing like a little roof for the person in the head.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
All right.
great. Okay, that is all great. Yeah, all of that is good. And they just go on. See, your dark stuff that you have to get through is a lot of hard work. Whatever this stuff is, you may be familiar with it, but it becomes more difficult, or it's difficult. When you go into that, going forward, see, you have almost like, you ever see like a paper boat?
Yeah.
You know, a paper
Yeah.
boat. A kid does.
Sure, yeah.
You see the paper boat?
Yeah.
See the little top of it, and it's like a little origami
that's-
paper boat.
Look at that, guys.
Isn't
See
it
that?
amazing?
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
like
what does
an
that mean?
origami paper boat.
Is-
It's actually, it's kind of interesting because it's paired with another triangle. So that is a trip or adventure, but the triangle, there must be you and two other people that are very important in your life. Who's the triangle? You and two other people.
I mean, there's a lot of people who are very important in my life. I mean, it could be.
If you
I have
said,
kids,
I have to pick two people and me, who would that be?
probably my kids.
Okay, all right. So you see that, and
Sorry,
that.
sorry to my
So
wife.
you
Just to watch
and
this and be
your
like,
kids. I don't
She's
know.
like-
I mean, I don't know who's
You're
in
like-
your life.
listen.
But if
she understands, she would do the same.
So there may be like a travel adventure, but there's a triangle there, okay? So it's like, okay, you're gonna start doing more for yourself, or you're gonna be doing more adventure for yourself in the future. You see how all this stuff has been work? Like not a lot of fun, not a lot of fun, not a lot of fun. But there,
It's
after
fun?
well, that's
Is it?
fun.
Okay.
Yeah, you see the little origami paper,
All
little
right.
boat, and then the triangle? It's like, let me pick 2 or 3 people, and then they're gonna do the fun with me. But you see the little things that are going around it, all these little dots around it? That's fun. It's activity in the cup. You see that? So
Well,
it's
we'll see what it turns into, because I have a couple of groups of 2 or 3 people that I'm doing very interesting things with. That'll be exciting to see what
So
pans
the
out.
boat would be specific to like a trip, a journey, and kind of a thing. Okay.
Okay.
So that looking like a creative, see the origami boat is not just a regular boat, it's an origami boat.
Okay.
So I can't make an origami boat, but I know a guy that could. You see
Okay.
what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I'm not creative enough. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what that is. So in summary, you say, what's the so what of the cup? What you're working on does matter, and it continues, okay? So even though certain months are really hard, or certain months kind of evaluated certain things or made things stand by themselves, it shows that everything you're doing has an outcome. Like now, your angel still has wings, you're still floating, but now your angel is transitioned and is now standing on its own. So as the year progresses, there's more independency to your work. But also, you're learning to have fun, because
Okay.
all this stuff here doesn't look fun to me.
Right. Can't all be good times.
So we do something which
Right.
is called, you could put your thumb in the bottom of the cup. It may not show on espresso, but the cup, put your thumb in the bottom of it and just press it down.
Right.
So like, it may not show now because the coffee is dry,
Yeah, I'm not getting any love out of
but
that.
it will with the Turkish
Okay.
coffee.
All right.
All right, good. And your cup, if people are wondering about the heart, his heart, you see all the squiggly lines here?
Yes.
You have a lot of people that are in your caring world.
Yes.
Yeah, you see all the squiggly lines? It's almost like when someone says, I'm looking at wallpaper. Like, I don't know where the wallpaper starts. You see that? All the squiggly lines?
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know where that all starts. It's all there. So that's good. It's not in your face. It's not one,
It's not
blob.
murder or death
No,
or
stop.
just like.
But your heart has to do with you. It's people you care for and people that care for you. And you have a lot of people in your heart. But it's like surface stuff. Like when I say wallpaper, you could see wallpaper, but you can't see every image specifically on the wallpaper. It's like a print. It's an imprint. You see that? You see all
Yes.
the squiggly
Right,
lines?
they're not good. Right,
It's not like one person is more important than everyone else.
Sure. That's wild.
Yeah, mine's very different. See
Let's
the
see
bottom of my cup here?
Is
We
mine
didn't do
better?
a full. Yours is better. Of course it's better. Of course. Of course it's better.
Turn yours into a
But you see how the bottom of my cup looks different than yours?
Yeah.
So it's very different, just to give people
Right.
the concept
Okay.
of it. Okay, good.
All right, good. That's my heart.
All right. good.
Awesome.
Very good.
All right. Now we're gonna do the
So-
Turkish. Oh.
There you
All right. So
go.
now this is the Turkish coffee.
This is the Turkish coffee.
Look at this.
So, yeah.
All right. So this is really different, right?
Yeah. And the proper presentation of it, I know I'm getting all dirty here.
Okay. What do we do?
Proper presentation of this is to keep it covered the way they did.
Okay.
Okay. So take this, put it on your piece of paper,
Okay.
your napkin. Okay. You're going to take your lid off. Isn't it beautiful? It's just cafes all are different.
Coffee unique.
Coffee
ladies and
unique
gentlemen.
is amazing.
Ooh, these
Okay.
handles are dope.
Yeah, you see this? And it's like smoking. It's like so hot. All right,
Right.
you ready? Oh, wow. You feel it's very, very different.
If you had given me this, beforehand, and didn't tell me it was coffee, I wouldn't say it was coffee. Like it doesn't taste
different.
what I think of as coffee, right?
It hits differently. It tastes different. It's got a different consistency.
Right.
It's good.
It's really good. How's yours?
It's very good. I drink a lot of it.
You drink a lot of this. This seems like something special they do here at Coffee Unique.
Well, I like the presentation, the way they do it at
Yeah, I
Coffee
mean,
Unique.
the whole thing is badass.
Yeah.
All right. And then we would do the same thing. I'm done with mine. I shot this one. So then I do 3 circles.
Turn
Right?
it 3 times towards you. You actually have to have this here.
Oh, I need this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then turn it upside
Down.
Ooh. And then put it at 5 o'clock. So just so you know
We're ready
how
to
to
pick up.
do this, I'll pick mine up now. It's going to be very, very different. It's a little dramatic.
Okay.
Prepare yourself. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Am I ready to pick mine up?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Just, I want you to see, okay? See how dramatic the coffee is? So remember how this is now. See all that?
Yeah. That looks like a fish.
Really, really. It's really neat. Look at the head. Look at the boob.
No, that one over there.
You see this?
Oh, that's yes, that is a profile of water.
See?
Yes, I can see it.
And the butt, and then the feet.
Sure. Sure.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But look. That's like a snail.
Okay.
You see that? All right, good. So I'm going to do your reading. So this is where we are right now. Can you see it on the camera?
Yes.
All right, good. So you see the handle? This is where you are right now.
That's thick sludge.
It's very thick, but this is you actually facing the future. It's kind of interesting because it's coming across with the very interesting. It's a dog. You see the tail of the dog is up, not out.
Wait a minute.
You see the tail of the dog is up. There's the little feet of the dog. It's on its side.
Is the dog I'm looking at the white space. Have you look at the brown space?
Yeah, coffee. Look
Okay,
at the
yes.
coffee. You see
Okay,
the,
yes, I see the dog. Yes.
see the dog?
The
with the
tail's
head?
up. The tail's pointing towards the head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is very, very passive, which means when the dog
Yeah. So
the
like,
dog
like-
is when the dog is afraid, it'll go up or out. When the tail is like that, it means friendly dog.
Okay.
But also facing the future. Okay, that's very interesting because you're taking
So
on
don't put your hand in the sludge.
the image of a friendly dog as you face the future.
Okay.
One of the projects that you're on is very friend related, or you're going to be very like it. You have to bring in the friend aspect of it.
Could I be working with friends?
Yeah, you could.
I
be.
have a project with all
Good.
friends.
All right, good. Because this is very important because you're facing this and it's a little bit of an hourglass. Okay. So that friend project, you see this little image right here?
The black or the white?
The black.
Okay.
Only black.
Only black.
Yeah,
Okay.
you see
Yes,
this
I
little
see that.
box here? It's a little bit like an hourglass. You see how it's smaller at the top and then bigger at the bottom?
Yeah.
That's time sensitive. So your friend project is going to have a lot of time stuff related.
Okay. Yes.
Okay,
That's
so
true.
stay on top of that. What's over your head is California. That's a California state thing right there.
Okay.
You see how it goes off into almost a tail?
Yeah.
So I think that project would be related to California, the state of California. So you see, if you look at if you turn it like this is the top of it, and then you come down, you see how it trickles down?
Yeah.
Almost as if it's going into another country.
Mexico?
Well, it could be, yeah. So that
I know geography.
project there
Yeah.
is a California project
Okay.
that has to do with your friends and the time limited. And that's coming up. You're going to be very involved in it in the next 60 to 90 days. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. And it's very good. The dog is actually standing on, you see that? It's like it's standing on a little bit of a chicken. Okay. Can you see that? The little,
There's a chicken?
it looks a little bit like a chicken to
It
me.
looks like a stomach.
Okay. But I think it's a chicken.
Okay.
Because it's got a little bit, a chicken or a duck, because it's got a little bit of a floofy tail there.
Right.
You had to make that project happen.
That's true.
because chickens are very nippy. Nip, nip, nip. They want to like nip after you. You ever see chickens?
Yes.
They're not friendly, okay? You had to fight to have that project happen. You
Okay.
had to nip after people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got it, okay? But it still requires a lot of attention, okay? That will actually, the timing of that is very important because there's a little dot on top of the hourglass, which means you can get your wish with that. It could be very successful.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. You see the little dot on top of that? It's kind of interesting because I would just watch the conversation around it. You see the time limited thing there? Mm-hmm. See that little line coming down from it? Mm-hmm. You don't want like information leaking out of it. Like if people can't talk about it, then they can't talk about it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because it looks very leaky.
Okay.
I would watch that.
Okay. I'm on it.
That's a big one.
Okay.
All this stuff back here, very interesting. You have a very significant T in your cup. Do you have a person in spirit with the name with a T? First name with a T.
Not offhand.
Okay. Who's Thomas?
I think Tommy was my brother's friend
Okay.
that we talked about, but that's not. I have no idea.
You see the T there?
Yeah.
Very, very big. Okay.
It could. Yeah. I guess.
You see the little person next to them?
In the white or the black?
Yeah. See the little coffee stick figure?
Yes. Oh, yes. In the black. Yes.
That's why that made me feel like it was an afterlife connection.
See that, guys?
You see the little person like that?
Yeah.
So do you know if Tommy is still around?
No, he's not.
He's in spirit?
Yes.
Okay, that's what that is.
But he would have no connection to me.
It doesn't
Zero.
matter. It doesn't matter. He had a connection to your brother.
Yes.
You see that? So that's what that is. That's kind of interesting because I'm going to go and do the timing for the audience. This is December. So this is November, October, September. So what would be the September connection to you, your family, your brother?
It's hard to say. There's so many. September has so many things. So many things.
Is there anything for him particular?
Did he pass in September? I think my brother passed in September.
Okay, so that's why it's there.
I think
'Cause
it was a September. Obviously not anytime soon.
You see that in the cup? If this is December, this is November, October, September. You see? And that's where the little man is standing. I count with my fingers. See that?
Yes.
That's why that's there. So your brother's all around you. He really, I think, is one of your guides in life. It's kind of interesting because just in front of that, which means October and November, you had two big stressful events. Do you see this?
Yeah.
And then you see that. One of the events was so stressful that it's popping out outside of the cup. You see, it almost has a little triangle on top of it, okay?
Yeah.
So that feels really October into November,
Okay.
like around Halloween time into November.
Yeah. Okay.
But you see the coffee's elevated out of the cup.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that means that, your brother's really a protector to you, okay? I want to go back a little bit further than that,
Yeah.
going to August. You're almost sitting. You see that? You're sitting in like a kayak. You see your little head?
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's like you're gliding along.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's kind of interesting too, because I don't know if you ever do any writing, but all of these lines here talk about writing.
Writing?
Yeah.
Writing, you mean?
Writing.
Writing. Okay.
Writing. Okay. And that's very important. So I would, by seeing this, each line like this, going into the future, I want to look for that again. And I don't see it. Okay.
What about all that shit?
This is different. Okay. So let's move on from here.
Okay.
This would be January, February, March, April. Boom. Now, on the other cup, didn't we see stuff in April?
Yes.
The cups match. Look at all that, okay? This looks quite literally like a Christmas tree. See all the branches of this tree coming
Yeah.
out like that?
Yeah.
The people. Okay, there's a big piece of the bark, the top of the tree, but all of these things are people. And they have to do with a project you're going to be working on. That's beautiful. Do you see that?
That's pretty wild.
It's really great. But I love that both cups match.
Yeah.
And that gives you the validity.
Here, let's bring both. Well, they're on opposite sides of the handle. Does that matter? Well, no, like that was it.
Yeah, but we also talked about the timing
Yeah.
being the same.
Yeah. That was it, right? Right there.
That was it right there.
Yeah.
So
Look at both of these.
side by side. I'll hold them. Yeah, there you go.
Look at that. It's crazy. You gonna see that there? Ooh.
Wow. So now, with the Turkish cup, you should put the thumbprint in your heart. That'll work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just press it down.
Does it matter which hand? Should I use my dominant hand?
No, it's fine. It's easier for the camera. Yeah. Now you wipe it on the thing. Let me see if it shows anything. Didn't really show anything. It's hard to tell.
All right, good.
Yeah.
I'd rather be.
But you know what's interesting about the bottom of your cup, since we're talking about the heart,
Okay.
is from left to right. You see the darkness of the color?
Yeah. Lightens up.
As your year goes on, you're going to take yourself less seriously. You see
I
that?
take myself seriously.
Well, I think you do, though. Things that matter to the heart. You see how dark that is?
Yeah.
Then it gets lighter. And then that project in April is where that light part is.
Let's hope. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Isn't that amazing?
That's wild. Kathy,
Wow.
that was so fun.
Very good.
Oh my God.
I know, but the cups are so different. If you put the two together,
Yeah, this
just
is
for the
Kathy's
audience,
cup.
yeah, mine's here.
Look, this is Kathy's. Look at hers. That's like full black. Yeah, black heart. Mine lightens up. Who would have thought? No one would have ever thought my heart lightens up. See that? Like, it's insane.
Wow,
So
very good.
cool. That was so fun. That was so fun.
It was really good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so now you know the difference of coffee, and you see the difference of doing the readings with coffee. And
It's gonna
would
be
you like one more than the other?
the reading.
Well,
I found the reading.
coffee,
No, but like getting into the readings for a second. Yeah, this was very unique. I've never had Turkish coffee, so that was wild. But it's like the I think it's wild that the readings matched up in that certain in your time calendar.
That's the point of doing it. That's the so what. That's the so what.
That's the so what.
One
so
cup
cool.
says one thing in your life, and the next cup with different coffee is consistent with your past, your present, and your future. You know you're on the right track.
I love it.
I love it too.
Kathy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Come
Thank you.
here. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was so great.
Well, that's it for another episode of Splintered Spirits. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, stay curious.